Good day, students. This session is meant to support you in the absence of contact lectures, and I hope that you find it helpful. This is the final support for your argumentative essay. The outcomes of this session are to consolidate the requirements and guidelines for your argumentative essay, to reiterate platforms for where you may access data for your argument, and just to give you some final reminders for how your essay should be submitted. Firstly, remember that when you submit your essay, you must also submit the Turnitin Originality Report. And this function you will find under ABA's Docs on ClickUp, and it will generate as many reports as you want before you submit your final draft. Secondly, if you find that your originality report, which you receive from Turnitin, is higher than 20%, it will not be accepted. So do not submit that and fix it until it's below 20%. Also, if for any reason you struggle with Turnitin, consult with me, let me know, and I will help you. But what I do want to say is that as long as you are including in-text citations for direct quotation or paraphrased information, you are well protected. Please remember that your cover page must include your name and student number. You should also, in one way or another, state what the argument it is that you will be discussing, or include an original title for your essay, which gives the reader a clue as to what the argument is. And then remember to include your abstract, which must be inside of a text box. This is just an example of an abstract with a text box inside. And notice that the example states the purpose, the methods, the results, and the conclusion of the study. And also note how the past tense is continuously used. So you must also use the past tense when writing your abstract. Just to reiterate the function of your abstract, the objective statement tells the reader what the purpose of your study was, and in this case it is to choose an argument on which you choose a side. The method statement lists the methods which you use to access your data, so these could be consulting academic journals, newspapers, interviews, books, etc. The results statement tells the reader what your findings were, and remember the findings emerge from your methods above in B. And lastly, your conclusive statement, which is different from your results statement, gives a generalized overview of what the results have informed you. And your conclusive statement may be presented in the form of solutions to the problems you discussed or recommendations for future studies, as obviously your study was not able to cover every single element of the topic. This is a possible structure which you may use for your main body. So what I suggest is with your introduction, you start out there, and that should include a topic statement, a thesis statement, which is your position on the argument, and then in your introduction, you also give an outline of what is to follow. Following that, you go into discussion of your central claims, and then you discuss your counter arguments, then you refute your counter arguments, and then you go into your conclusion. A second option for structuring your main body is to introduce your essay, as in the previous example, and then you go into your first claim. In the same paragraph, you introduce the counterclaim, and then you refute that counterclaim. And you do the same for your second paragraph. You introduce your second claim, you introduce counterclaim 2, and then you refute counterclaim 2. If necessary, if you have a third claim, then you just repeat B and C, and then finally you end with your conclusion. So either of these structures are applicable, but if you want to introduce a structure of your own, you may do that, as long as the reader is able to see each of your claims, your counterclaims, and also the manner by which you refute your counterclaims. So just a few final reminders. You may use Google Scholar or the library portal for authentic sources. So these could include journal articles, books, media, etc. Make sure that for both your claims and your counterclaims that you use sufficient articles, media, interviews, whatever that is. Just make sure that your arguments are strong. Remember that your bibliography must be on a separate page and it must be in alphabetical order. Also, remember to attach your Turnitin report to the hard copy of your essay. This I will get when we finally meet with each other in lecture 2 of that week. And then also you may use diagrams or graphs, but just make sure that if you do so, that these are also cited. To end of this session, if you need any additional support, please do not hesitate to contact me on my email address, which you see here. I'm here to assist. There's no such thing as a stupid question. And as I always tell you guys, remember, gentlemen and ladies, that you are special, and I wish you all the best.